Hi guys, I am going to be teaching our Inbalance Pilates Signature Footwork, and this is what is provided for the Apprentice logs. Now this is something that I want you to build a strong foundation, and we have this structure, so I want you to do this footwork 100 times until it is embedded in your brain. After you've done it 100 times, you're welcome to switch up the order or the sequencing or the combos of the arms and the feet position, but I would do at least 5 rounds of footwork with the tendon stretcher, the calf raises, and the prancing. Now, always offer options for footwork. So this is going to primarily work the quads because it's a leg press. We want to load up the springs, all 5 springs, add a high yellow or a high blue, 3 reds and a blue for more of a medium, or 3 reds for something a little bit lighter. And then make sure that you adjust the foot bar to client's height. I'm at the Oro Valley Studio, so I have the foot bar on the first little dot here. A lot of people go by the white tab, but I don't go by the white tab. I go by where the foot bar is actually landing, not the tab. So I'm on the first white dot. Now I grabbed some weights just for the sake of the demo, but we almost always start class with footwork. So have clients lay down. It's easier if you slide their hips forward and to the corner edge of the foot bar. That way, when you lay down, you can just swing your legs over and then boom, you're right in the perfect position. Head on the headrest, shoulders against the shoulder blocks. Now, I know a lot of instructors start with some breath. I usually get clients laying down maybe 1-2 minutes before class and tell them to settle into their space, because right when it hits 9:30 or right when it hits that class time, we should be moving. And it's breath with movement. That's how Mr. Pilates taught it. So I start heels on, parallel, about 4 to 5 inches apart, and then start to press out with a bicep curl right away, and then come back in. Now take an inhale through the nose as you press out, exhale through the mouth as you come back in. Straightening the legs all the way. Start to flex your toes toward your nose. Start to scan the body from feet to head and layer in your cues. Now, I like to add a mix of internal and external cues. Internal cues are going to be what's happening inside the body, for example, straightening the legs. External cue is going to be like stretching the spring out. And if you give those external cues, most clients are going to get it. Because if you say straighten the legs all the way, they could straighten the legs over the foot bar. So it's a little bit more specific on the action you want them to complete. Now I time everything for 30 seconds. So 30 seconds with the leg press out, come in halfway, start to pulse. You can give the option to do this with the arms or without the arms, but I like to keep the arms low and supinated for the first set, because this is actually going to help to open up the posture and the chest as well. So we want to think about even pressure through the feet, even pressure from right to left. It's called footwork because we're going to work through all the different points, trigger points of the feet. These pulses are going to work deeper into your vasti muscles. Those are your quadriceps and the top part of the thigh. We want neutral pelvis and spine. So the hips are heavy, little space in the low back, ribs are heavy. Those are the natural curves of your spine. After 30 seconds, you press out, come back in, and then we work down to the arches and adduct the legs, squeeze them together, moving into elbow taps. So press out, punch up, come in, tap down. Toes, ankles, knees are all squeezing in together. Relax your toes. We're in a prehensile type of foot position. Now that means like just a wrapping, if you look up prehensile. And this position actually gives you a lot of information and data on someone's foot flexibility. We're squeezing those inner thighs together. Continue, big inhale, fill the whole body with air. Exhale, start to brace your abdominals. Think about drawing your navel toward your spine. Now I recommend finding like 3 to 5 ways to say the same thing. So brace the abs, navel to spine, tighten the core. After 30 seconds, we pulse up, down. And then I always encourage clients to slow it down. Up an inch, pause, down an inch, pause. Looking for the balance through the feet, squeezing the knees together. Tailbone is heavy. Neutral spine and pelvis here. We have that abdominal engagement, length through the neck. After your 30 seconds, you can press all the way out. Come back in. Now we slide down to the toes. Now we're finding a turnout here. Skull crushers. So Pilates stance or first position, heels together, toes apart. As you press out, extend the arms up. As you come in, bend your elbows right back by your head. Now just name the exercise. Just say toes on, first position, skull crushers, go. Half of the room is going to start moving because this is a practice. So if they've taken 500 classes or however many, they're going to know what to do. As they press out and our thighs squeeze, as they come in, knees open. I would still describe the movement, describe the external rotation at the hip, the even pressure across the ball of the foot, big toe to baby toe, right to left, finding fluidity and a sense of rhythm and control in the movement. After your 30 seconds, find those pulses up and down. Squeeze your heels, lift them high. Calves are involved right here as well. We still have the same muscle focus, just a slight turnout. And footwork is a postural exercise. These shoulder blocks are meant to press your shoulders down away from the ears. That's going to work to lengthen the spine, decompress the spine, and balance the body from right to left. So if somebody has a higher shoulder or hip or scoliosis or anything like that, this is going to help to balance the whole body a little bit more. Press out after 30 seconds, pulses for 30 seconds too. And then we bring the heels wide, sumo squat or second position if you like the dance terminology, and we go chest press. So you push out, tap the weights over the chest, bend the knees, bend the elbows wide to the side. Now start to talk about the shoulder girdle. As you bend the elbows, feel your shoulder blades glide together down the back, creating a little more width and space through the chest and the collarbone. So not only are we looking for length from feet through the crown of the head, we're also looking to create more width, taking up a little bit more space. Breathing in through the nose, ribs expand. Exhale through the mouth. Now I want to take a moment to talk about the pelvic floor a little bit, okay? So we'd pulse after 30, of course. Think about your sits bones, your ischial tuberosities. If you're seated on the edge of your carriage, you can feel your sits bones pressing down into your seat, okay? So right now in this position I'm in a sumo squat position. My sits bones are going to stretch. They're going to come apart, okay? So my sits bones are a little wider in this position. As I press out, my sits bones narrow. They come together, okay? Now, your pelvic floor sits right between your pubic bone and your tailbone and your two sits bones. So if you think of your pelvic floor like a bowl or like a balloon, like a hammock, okay? As you come in, your pelvic floor is going to stretch, right? Because your sits bones are stretching. As you press out, your sits bones come together. So the pelvic floor contracts or closes. So we come in, pelvic floor stretches, we press out, it contracts. Now let's match that to the breath. On your inhale, you're filling your ribs, your belly, your diaphragm, your pelvic floor. On your inhale, you're creating more space in this vacuum of your body. On your exhale, everything's closing back in. So think inhale, fills like a balloon, exhale, closes. So marry that to the pelvic floor. I would say inhale as you come in, create space, create width through your pelvic floor. So it's going to be opposite of what we normally do. Exhale, press out. Inhale, create space. Exhale. Abs pull in, pelvic floor lifts. So let me know if that makes sense. Usually what I do is inhale to press out, because think about filling the lungs, expanding the ribs. Your ribs interdigitate with your thoracic spine. That's your mid upper back. So that's going to create space in your spine, in your posture. And then exhale. Come back in. So I've always taught it as an inhale to lengthen and an exhale to come in. But I just reversed it for you. So now it would be an exhale to push out, inhale to come in, thinking about the breath with the pelvic floor. So ask yourself why. Why am I adding the breath to this particular movement? Is it to lengthen the spine? Is it to expand the pelvic floor? Just good things to be a little more intentional about. Of course, we're going to come in halfway pulse, up and down, even pressure through the heels, knees tracking over midfoot, dorsiflexion of the ankle. That means I'm flexing the toes toward the nose. Abs are braced. And then we push out. That round, you don't have to go in depth with the clients about that, but just to explain a little better. Toes on, hug a tree, name the exercise, and go. We're going to push out, hug a big tree over the chest. Come back in, open the arms away from the body. Find a stretch and lengthen through your chest. So that lengthen that eccentric part of the contraction. Heels are lifted. Usually with the last round, I will invite clients to close their eyes, connecting a little bit more inward. And then of course we pulse. I also like the cue to open the throat, gazes up to the ceiling. Of course, if you see clients' head looking back at themselves in the mirror, we don't want that. We also don't want the chins jammed down to the chest. We want the neutral, the in-between. So they should be looking straight up, maybe slightly back behind is what I will cue, so their face is flat toward the ceiling. After your 30 seconds of pulses, toes to the middle, we're going to do those calf raises. So press out, drop your heels under the bar, big stretch, Achilles tendon, calf. And also, fun fact, you have this fascial pull that goes from the back of the heel all the way up the calves, hamstrings, glutes, the spine, through the back of the head, the neck, and it comes all the way to the front of your forehead. There's a fascial line that pulls. That's why everybody starts to be like a little shrimp because you just have this pulling sensation of the back of the body. So getting this tendon stretch, great for length. This is dorsiflexion. This is plantar flexion. Lower and lift. Squeeze your glutes as you lift. Relax fully as you lower. You can add a hammer curl to this or a skull crusher or whatever arm movement. After 30 seconds, then we prance. I usually offer clients the option to go slow or fast. You can add a double pulse. Either way, think of this like a single leg calf raise. For the heel that's going under the bar, I want you to push mostly through that foot to lift before you switch. So it's not very passive, right? And you could also add a little bit of a bounce to this too. You know how babies like to be bounced and rocked? Your fascia, your nervous system might actually like that a little bit. So if they're bouncing, that's okay with me. 30 seconds like that. Foot massage, walking up and down through your whole foot. So right in the middle of the foot, there's all these tendons that bunch up. That's why it gets so tender, so tight, right in the middle of the foot. Get in through the balls of the feet. Also, this is why I don't require socks at the studio, because people's feet tell a story about their posture. So if I could see their feet, it gives me a lot of information on hammer toes, bunions, if they're supinating or pronating, they're just like gait and their walking pattern. It's very helpful. And then we typically go into a calf massage after that. So up and down the belly of the calf, side to side, again, just rocking out any little knots or tight spots there. Now, a great transition to come up and switch springs. Of course, you know, reformer roll-ups, coming up, coming down. Now, especially at Oro Valley Studio, I never offer alligator legs just because, like, you do that, right? You click. So I would prefer you to just like bend the knees and hug the foot bar here as you come up, because then that mimics more of a sit-up of like somebody holding your feet down. So footwork should take about 10 minutes or less. Keep them moving, name the exercise, go, and then refine it. Think of your nutshell concepts, okay? So think about the breath. Think about your neutral spine and pelvis, your abdominals, powerhouse, the pelvic floor, the shoulder placement. We're looking for this neutral, and really footwork will get you into it. You just got to get people laying down and moving and add the breath to the movement. That's why Pilates is such a great body, mind, spirit connection. It's very meditative. It taps people into their flow state. We want to find the balance between cueing and also pausing. So you can go too far either way. Too much cues, not enough cues. So find that Goldilocks, find that sweet spot where you're doing your cues, but you're not just repeating the same things over and over again. Pick your head up, look around at who's in the studio, cue to the people that are in here and to what you're saying in real time. So if you're saying someone needs to dorsiflex, cue that. If everybody's already in it, you probably don't need to say it. Think of it like when you're first teaching your kids or young kids how to spell cat. You tell them k, c, a, t, t, k, a, t, right? Cat. So think of it like that. When people are new to Pilates, you're teaching them the k, and then the press out, and then the t, like whatever arm movement. But as somebody's been coming for like 100 sessions, 250 sessions, 500 sessions, you don't have to keep spelling C-A-T. You could just say cat and they'll go into it. Just say heels on parallel bicep curl. They're gonna go right into it. It's gonna make your job a lot easier. Biggest thing is you want to time. So on my Apple Watch, I have a timer. Don't stare at the watch, but click the 30 seconds, let your arm go, walk around, be present. After 30 seconds, your wrist is just gonna start buzzing. And then at that point, say one more. So one thing with my personal practice is I'm trying to reduce the counting. So the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reduce some of the counting, leave a little more space for clients to have their experience and connect to their breath and their body. And I will still count down. Say we're doing a hard plank series. See, there it goes. So say we're doing like a really hard plank series or something like that. The countdown can be motivating to hold it for 10 more seconds. But if you're counting down after every single set, for me, it kind of pulls me out of the flow state. So find that balance. I'll keep sharing these tips. Again, start with that foundation. You want to build a strong foundation for your teaching, and you need to put in the reps over and over and over again. You might get bored, but your clients are not bored. I promise you, they are not bored. Every time they come in, they're going to have those little aha epiphany moments. They're going to make their Pilates practice better, and they're going to keep coming back for 10 years. Get to know them, get to know what their goals are, get to know why they're coming to Pilates. Just start to get to know the clients a little bit more, and you'll know what they need. And also every month we have a different monthly focus, so it's super helpful. But anyway, I hope this is helpful. Let me know.